West was the gathering ground for men of every type, for derelicts as well as heroes. One of the strangest, perhaps, was the man they call a remittance man, a man who was paid to stay away from home.
Johnny, you're here early. Something wrong?
Not a thing. It's a lovely morning.
Can I get you some breakfast?
Did you spoil this?
It was nice last night, Johnny, down by the river. The moonlight on the water. I guess I never knew it could be so pretty and peaceful in Dodge. Thanks for asking me.
You're welcome, miss.
Yes. You called me Doris last night.
Did I? Sorry. Sometimes forget myself.
Yes, I understand.
Rate he's going this morning. This month's check from England ain't going to last till the end of the month. What's got into him?
I don't know.
Anything happen last night?
Nothing.
I warned you, he's not for you. Even if he is the black sheep, them English aristocrats stick together.
Nothing happened. We only went for a walk.
What's he got to do with George Cantel?
The gambler? Why, nothing. Johnny doesn't even know him.
Well, then why did they have their heads together back there a while ago? It's since then he's been drinking like that and looking like thunder. Uh-oh, here he comes.
Mr. Dodd? You have a gun under the bar, haven't you?
Sure, for emergencies.
May I borrow it, please?
You never even had a gun in your hand.
It has nothing to do with it.
I don't lend it.
Mr. Dodd, I have some credit left, haven't I?
About $40.
That should be enough to buy the gun, if you please. Not enough?
Plenty. But a gun is used to shoot people. And if it's Cantel you were thinking about, you better think again. He's a gambler. He's good with a gun. You ain't.
May I have it, please?
You'd be committing suicide.
Well, then, give me what I have left and I'll go and buy it someplace else.
Johnny, please, you mustn't.
If you'll excuse me.
What could I do?
You'll be killed.
Run and get Marshal Earp.
Cantle?
You wanting a game?
I want to talk to you.
Not here. Gentlemen?
I brought you something.
I said not here.
It's not what you think. This.
Now, don't be a fool, Milton. You're no gunfighter.
I know. But I'm going to kill you just the same.
But you've got your gun in your hand. You call that a fair draw? Now, look. You give me a fair chance, I'll be glad to draw with you. Well, you can even kill me if you're able.
I don't want the gun. I'll kill you with my bare hands.
Hold it.
Stay out of this, Wyatt.
Give me that gun, Johnny.
No, I'm going to kill the... Oh.
What business was this of yours, Earp?
It's my job to take care of the peace. You remember that, Mr. Cantel.
He threatened my life. If you don't think I'm going to defend myself, why...
Why'd he threaten to kill you?
Well, I don't know. He's crazy drunk, I guess.
He knew what he was doing.
All right. He owes me money. I asked for it. Now, you'd better keep him out of my way.
Mr. Cantel, you come gunning for him, and you're going to find me.
He didn't have to hit him.
A bullet would have hurt a lot worse. He'll be all right. Come on, give me a hand.
Johnny.
Is this yours?
Yes, it is.
How does he owe Cantel money? Johnny doesn't gamble.
Well, not that I ever heard of. He never had any money except that monthly check from England.
He always turned that over to you.
For this room and eats. And liquor as long as the credit lasted. Lately, it's been given out quick.
Yeah, I know. What'd he do then? Borrow it from Cantel?
No, I've been putting it on the cuff. And Doris, she's been paying for it.
Oh. Does he know that?
She won't let me tell him.
I need a drink.
Oh, now, Johnny.
Oh, don't treat me like a child. Let me have a drink. You here? Why'd you interfere?
Why'd you do it? Cantel says you owe him money.
Let's leave it at that.
All right. I can't make you talk. But if you do need money, you don't have to use a gun. You got friends here in Dodge. Dart, Doris, I'd like to be a friend.
You a $500 friend, Marshal?
Is that how much you owe him?
I said leave it.
All right. But trying to kill him isn't going to solve anything. 10 chances to 1 it wouldn't be Cantel who'd wind up dead anyway.
Those odds don't frighten me.
No, I guess not. Not to a man who's trying to kill himself with a bottle.
I don't need your advice.
Well, you need somebody's. You're going to wind up dead. Now, I don't know why your folks in England send you money to stay here, but I do know it isn't doing you any good.
Leave him alone, Mr. Earp.
I'll tell you something else, Johnny. You could be a good man if you tried. Send those checks back, get a job, stand on your own 2 feet.
You know, you missed your calling, Marshal. You sound just like a preacher.
Do I? Well, you stay away from Cantel or I'm going to toss you in jail. Now, a preacher wouldn't do that.
No, Johnny.
You won't be needing this. Johnny, you ought to listen to Wyatt.
Oh, please, Mr. Dart, just go away and let me take care of him.
Doris, child.
Mr. Dart, I'm over 21. No, Johnny.
Wyatt, there's trouble with the Alhambra.
Jonathan Milton?
I don't know.
Johnny?
No.
It's this woman, Marshal, this dirty
No
little...
need for names, mister. Mr.
Nathaniel Cooker of Hutchinson.
All right, what happened, Mr. Cooker?
Robbed me. Took my pig money.
Pig money.
Money I got for the pigs I brought into town today. Most of it, anyways.
Most of it? How much of it?
500.
Even?
500 even and $20 gold pieces. Left me maybe $30, $40.
How do you know she stole it?
She heard me talking about it at dinner.
Bragging about it.
She got real friendly. I got a little drunk. You know, kind of moony. I woke up down by the river. She didn't think I'd remember her.
This true, Miss Doris?
Yes, I guess it is.
I'd have swore she wasn't this kind. You know I don't run this kind of business, Wyatt.
I know that, Henry. Miss Doris, you'll have to give him back the money. It'll go easy on you.
I can't. I haven't got it.
Haven't got it? How could she spend it so quick?
You're out of luck, Mr. Cooker.
I gotta have that money. I can't go home without it. How'd I explain things to my wife?
Now, look, I'll do whatever I can. I'll take her into custody. You come on down to my office tomorrow morning and swear out a complaint.
I certainly will. The dirty little crook.
I said no names. Come on, Miss Doris.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dodd.
So am I. I'll tell Johnny.
Oh, no, please don't. He's in his room asleep. Marshal, he had nothing to do with this. He didn't even know about it.
We have no accommodations for you at the jail. I'll get your room at the Dodge House.
Next time, mister, don't brag.
Here's your key. Either my deputy or I'll be outside.
Don't worry, Marshal. I won't try to run away.
You know, it's quite a coincidence. You steal $500, and Cantel wants $500 from Johnny, even. You've never done anything before like this, have you, Miss Doris? Do you think this would stop a man like Cantel from killing Johnny?
Oh, Marshal.
But why didn't you come to me for help before you ruined your life like this, huh?
I didn't know what to do. And Johnny was so strange. Nothing seemed to mean anything to him before this, but he really wanted to kill Cantel.
But why?
I don't know. He wouldn't tell me anything. But it wasn't the gambling. I know that.
Well, there's only one other thing it could be. Blackmail. Maybe Cantel threatened to tell Johnny's family in England some dirt.
Johnny didn't care what his family thought about him, and they couldn't cut off the money because it was some kind of inheritance.
Yeah? Then it had to be you.
Me?
Did Cantel ever, did he ever know you from someplace before?
I wouldn't have been allowed to know that kind of a man. But he did recognize me. I knew that the first time he saw me on the street.
He recognized you?
He's from St. Louis. I come from a good family there. I'd run away to get married, I thought, but... Well, anyway, I was so ashamed I couldn't go back. They don't know where I am or what I'm doing.
Well, that's it.
Marshal, I've never done anything I've been ashamed of before this.
I believe you, Miss Doris. But maybe Cantel threatened to tell your family some lie about you and Johnny, and, well, that's what upset Johnny.
But there's never been anything between us. Johnny's been a perfect gentleman, and I'm, well...
That wouldn't make much difference to a man like Cantel. Well, that's probably it. Doesn't do us any good to know it now. You gave Cantel $500 in untraceable gold. There's not much I can do about it.
Yes, I understand.
Well, you try and get some sleep.
Marshal? Good night, Marshal.
Good night.
You can't arrest her, Marshal. You've got to let her go.
I can't do that, Johnny.
Well, then I'll take her.
You know how much money she took?
She didn't take it. She couldn't do such a
She
thing.
took $500, Johnny. $500 even.
Well, she did it for me.
Maybe you'll tell me why she did it. All right, I'll tell you why. Blackmail. Cantel threatened to tell her family in St. Louis some lie about her. Why didn't you come to me? We could have trapped him. I've had complaints before about his crooked behavior, and now we have no proof.
You're right about me, Marshal. I'm not much of a man. I've tried to find a solution to my problems in a bottle. May I see her for a moment? Please.
Who is it?
Marshal Earp, Miss Dawes.
Johnny, no, go away. You mustn't get mixed up in this.
Doris, there's no way to thank you. But I'll do anything. I'll do anything to help. And I'll wait for you.
Oh, Johnny, you mustn't feel like that. You don't owe me anything.
But I do. Doris, last night was the first time in years that I've felt alive.
Oh, Johnny.
If she goes to jail, I'll kill Campbell with my bare hands.
That isn't going to help.
Well, what will?
Well, there's just one chance. If we can persuade Cooker not to sign a complaint, there won't be any charge against him.
Well, let's talk to him right now.
I said if. He may not listen to us.
Hey, listen.
Wait a minute. The money's going to have to be paid back.
It will be. It may take a while, but I'll do it.
Let's go find him.
So I went into the dining room with my pig money, and this gal heard me talking about it. You know, the gals will always take a little shine to me. I guess she had you all fooled, huh? Thought she was just a waitress. But I spotted her.
Shut up! Have it, Johnny. Oh, you can't talk that way about her. I'll kill her. You're not.
Now, you go on back to the Alhambra and wait for me. Go on.
All right.
All right. All right, break it up. Mr. Cooker? I said break it up.
Well, let's have our drink before we get out of here. We're going to get out of the street.
I was just talking.
You do a lot of talking. Now, sit down.
What do you want with me, Marshal?
I have a little proposition for you, Mr. Cooker. That girl, she's not bad. She's never been in trouble before.
You expect me to believe that?
It's true. If she goes to jail now, it'll ruin her life.
She should have thought of that before.
The point is, Mr. Cooker, she deserves a second chance.
You're mighty big-hearted, ain't you, on my money?
You'll get your money back. If you agree not to sign the complaint. Now, that's my proposition.
She gonna pay me? Then who is? You?
Mr. Jonathan Milton, the gentleman who was just here.
He's some sort of a limey lord, ain't he? Only he's almost a tramp now. How's he gonna pay it back?
It'll take a while. He'll pay you a little each month.
Oh, no. He don't get no credit from me. I want my money. I told you I can't go home without it. What did I tell my wife?
What are you going to tell her anyway when your charges appear in the newspaper? The truth? And are you so sure the girl's the only one to blame? Wouldn't you still have that money of yours safe if you hadn't had a few ideas of your own?
Well, you know how it is, Marshal. We all make mistakes.
This girl never did. Now, you going to be the one that's going to ruin her life?
Well, I don't hold her no malice, but I gotta have my money back.
I said you'd get it.
Well, you give me my money right here in my hand, and I won't sign the complaint. Maybe you'll lend it to him. Or maybe you can find it where she put it.
That's a good idea, Mr. Cooker. Let's go.
Where are we going?
To do a little gambling.
Why, do you have to sneak up on a man, Marshal?
Sometimes. You want to deal me a hand?
Sure. Why not?
With that deck.
Yes, of course. Place your bets, gentlemen. Marshal?
I bet $500. Well, don't worry. If I lose, I'm good for it. And I'm sure you have $500, Mr. Cantel.
It's all right.
You know, if there's one thing in this town we don't like, it's a crooked gambler.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, there's been a lot of conversation, probably just from poor losers. Say you use marked cards. I'll play these. Actually, I don't pay too much attention to poor losers. Anyway, I know quite a bit about marked cards. Take that next card, for instance.
What about it?
Well, you have 16 showing. If that next card should just happen to be a 5, you'd have 21, you'd win all the bets. But I'd have to take you to jail. Because I read that card as a 5.
Why, you're crazy.
Am I? You sure you want to turn over that card?
I'll pay 17.
Pay 19. That satisfy you, Mr. Cooker?
Fine, thanks.
Now, you go on back to Hutchinson. Next time you come to Dodge City, you bring your wife. She'd enjoy the trip. You get out of town, too, Cantel.
Why? I haven't done anything.
The crime's a lot worse than marked cars, but that'll do for an excuse. Now, you get out before breakfast.
Stay where you are. You too, Cantel. I've got a score to settle with you.
What about me, Johnny?
You too, Wyatt, if you don't stay out of my way.
Then it'll have to be me. Now, nobody touch a gun. Put it down.
I'm warning you, Wyatt. Stay back! Oh, Wyatt. What's going to happen to her now?
Nothing's going to happen to either one of you. Give me a hand.
There. Doctor says you'll be back to normal in a couple of days.
No, I'm afraid it's more serious than that. It killed a man. Jonathan Milton, Esquire. From now on, it's just plain Johnny Milton. And Wyatt, I'm going to send back those checks. If Mr. Dart has a job for me at the Alhambra.
Sure, Johnny.
And maybe, soon, when I get a few dollars together.
Well, that shouldn't take too long with both of you working. No, in this case, I don't really mind killing a man.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold.